luxury brand that refused to scale. Loro Piana, invisible power. There is a luxury brand worn by people who never explain themselves. No logos announce its presence. No campaigns demand recognition. No urgency suggests relevance. It does not chase attention. It does not chase growth. It does not chase you. And yet, among the world's most powerful families, among dynastic wealth, industrial capital, and inherited influence, its name carries quiet authority. This is not an accident of taste. It is not minimalism as trend. It is not marketing restraint. It is a strategy. This is the story of the luxury brand that refused to scale, and why that refusal became its greatest advantage. Before fashion was performance. Before fashion became spectacle, luxury was material. Before runway shows, celebrity contracts, seasonal launches, and social media visibility, luxury was defined by something quieter: reliability, warmth that did not fail, fabric that endured decades, materials that justified their cost through time. Loro Piana emerged from this older world. Founded in Italy in the early 19th century, the company did not begin as a fashion house. It began as a textile merchant, supplying fine cloth to tailors, sailors, craftsmen, and aristocrats who understood a principle modern fashion often forgets. Quality does not announce itself. It reveals itself slowly. For generations, Loro Piana existed upstream from fashion. It did not design dreams. It supplied the material reality that made those dreams possible. In this world, reputation was not built through visibility. It was built through consistency. And the quieter the signal, the stronger the authority. Obsession with origin. While fashion houses sketch silhouettes, Loro Piana studies geography, not trends, terrain, not color palettes, climates. Cashmere from Inner Mongolia, sourced from goats that survive brutal winters. Vicuña from the Andes, a protected species whose fiber can only be harvested every few years. Baby cashmere, combed by hand from goats before their first winter when the fibers are at their softest. These materials cannot be rushed. They cannot be optimized. They cannot be industrialized. Most brands treat material sourcing as procurement. Loro Piana treats it as stewardship. Rather than outsource this reality, the company absorbed it. It vertically integrated its supply chain. From shepherds to mills, from mills to finishing, from finishing to garment. Not to reduce cost, but to eliminate compromise. Most luxury brands sell the idea of quality. Loro Piana sells the cost of patience. Time becomes the luxury. The anti-fashion philosophy. Loro Piana does not innovate the way fashion expects. Its silhouettes barely change. A coat from 10 years ago looks nearly identical today. This is not stagnation. It is continuity. Fashion thrives on novelty. Authority thrives on consistency. Trends signal participation. Consistency signals control. The ultra-wealthy do not dress to be noticed. They dress to be recognized quietly by peers who understand the code. For them, fashion is not performance. It is alignment. Loro Piana became a uniform for people who had already won the great refusal. Here is where Loro Piana separated itself from nearly every other luxury brand. It refused to scale. No explosive retail expansion, no aggressive marketing, no seasonal hype cycles. Why? Because scale demands volume. Volume demands compromise, and compromise destroys trust. More stores require more fiber requires dilution. Dilution destroys authority, so the brand chose limitation. Limited production, limited distribution, limited aware. Loro Piana is really for. Loro Piana does not sell aspiration, it sells recognition. Its customers are not climbing. they are maintaining. Old European families, industrial dynasties, generational wealth. For these people, logos feel insecure, visibility feels risky, attention feels unnecessary. Status truth. The loudest presence in a room is rarely the most powerful one. The LVMH moment. In 2013, LVMH acquired a majority stake in Loro Piana. To outsiders, it looked like contradiction. The world's largest luxury conglomerate buying one of its quietest brands. But LVMH understood something subtle. Not all brands scale by expanding. Some scale by being protected. Loro Piana would not grow louder, it would grow safer. Protected from trend pressure, protected from dilution, protected from impatience. Scale in this case meant insulation. Why this strategy works. Luxury today is divided. One path chases attention, the other cultivates authority. Most brands want to be recognized. Loro Piana wants to be chosen. Why protection beats expansion. Modern luxury teaches brands to grow outward. More stores, more markets, more categories, more attention, but expansion creates fragility. The more visible a brand becomes, the more it must explain itself. The more it must justify price. The more it must defend relevance. The more it must perform. Loro Piana avoided this trap. By remaining selective, it preserved trust. By remaining slow, it preserved authority. At the highest levels of wealth, status is not expanded, it is defended. Loro Piana did not seek new audiences, it deepened its relationship with the one audience that mattered. The quiet divide in modern luxury. Today, luxury is divided. On one side are brands built for attention, optimized for visibility, social media, and constant novelty. On the other are brands built for authority, optimized for continuity, discretion, and trust. One path dominates culture. The other dominates private rooms. Most people know the first category, very few ever encounter the second. Loro Piana exists entirely in that second world. It does not need recognition, it does not need explanation, it does not need permission. It operates beyond aspiration because its customers have already arrived. Why logos fail at the top. Logos work when status is unstable. They reassure. They signal belonging. They declare arrival. But at the highest levels of wealth, status does not need to be declared. It needs to be protected. Logos attract attention. Attention invites scrutiny. Scrutiny invites risk. Loro Piana eliminates this risk by removing the signal entirely. Its garments speak only to those who already know. When a brand stops speaking to everyone, it begins speaking only to peers. Why this strategy works. Luxury today is divided. One path chases attention. The other cultivates authority. Most brands want to be recognized. Loro Piana wants to be chosen. When everyone can identify a brand, its power declines. When only a few can recognize it, its power compounds. This is why quiet brands dominate elite circles and then loud brands dominate mass culture. The rarest luxury. Loro Piana did not win luxury by becoming bigger. It won by becoming slower, by refusing shortcuts, by honoring material, by choosing restraint over relevance. In a world addicted to scale, Loro Piana proved that the rarest luxury of all is knowing when not to grow. The luxury brand that refused to scale fade to silence.